Roll out!
I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members for your continued support. Thank you, and consider joining today for added perks and exclusive content. Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Legends LG-35 Super Ginrai, and I love this toy. Originally released in December of 2016, this is one of the figures that I recently picked up at TFCon Baltimore. I was really excited because I've actually been looking for this one for quite some time, because what we've got here, this is the Japanese version of what we got here in the States, known as the Titans Return Powermaster OPTIMUS Prime, which personally I think this is a slight retool, remold, in my opinion, upgrade of the one we got here in the States. And it's one that I've been wanting to get for quite some time. Real quick, let's take a look at the packaging right here. Super Ginrai does come. I'm probably going to start calling him Optimus at some point. So, you know, if I do, you've been warned. But he comes in this beautiful window box right here. You've got some really cool artwork of Super Ginrai right there. Super Trader, the Super Robot, LG-35 Super Ginrai, and he comes packaged in vehicle mode, which I love. I love Transformers that come packaged in vehicle mode. So the truck would have been packaged right here, and you would have seen the weapons up here at the top, and of course the Headmaster or Ginrai right there at the top. Looking at the side, we've got some really cool product shots. Let's get this guy out of the way. We've got some really cool product shots showing us Ginrai, the base mode, the vehicle mode, and half of the robot mode. And then on this side again, it's more of this same artwork right there, looking really, really cool. And then around the back, we've got product shots of Super Ginrai. Again, we've got that in the background, we've got that artwork, but then you can see Super Ginrai right there in the robot mode. We've got the base or battle command mode and the vehicle mode right there. So that's pretty much it for the packaging. Now, taking a closer look at Super Ginrai here in his vehicle mode, he is approximately 10.5 inches long, approximately 3.5 inches tall, right here at the top of the trailer. And he comes with his guns and his cannons that you can attach or not attach if you'd like to. And I absolutely love the way this vehicle modes. I really do love the way that this vehicle mode looks a lot more than the American version that we got. Absolutely love how vibrant those reds are. They're super shiny. The American one, we're going to see a comparison here in a moment, but it was almost like an orangey or a pinkish tint to the red. Here we have this really vibrant fire red, nice chrome wheels, or well, not chrome, they're painted silver, but at least they painted the wheels for us. I love the gray on this. It's just this really nice gray. Again, the American version that we got had this almost like yellowish tint to the gray. This one is just really nice, crisp gray right there. Again, silver painted wheels on the back. We got these blues on the back right there, some yellow highlights and some silver highlights right there. We don't have those feet sticking out of the back of the trailer anymore. Everything is nice and flat, and of course you can pop these open if you'd like, and you'd be able to drive a couple of vehicles, you know, some of the smaller vehicles in there if you'd like. Going all the way around, coming back to the front of the cabin, here's where we're going to see the biggest difference in vehicle mode, aside from the colors, is the actual molding of the cab itself. They've given us a mold of the cab where really the sides are pretty much identical. It's the whole front of the cab here, these two panels that have been retooled, remolded to make them look a little more G1 and a little less stylized from the American version that we got. So let's take a look at these side by side now so you can see. And again, you can see the differences that I was telling you about, where this one is a little more of a orangey or a pinkish kind of a color in the red. The grays themselves here on the trailer, you can see where this one's got an almost orange or a yellowish tint to it, where this one just has that nice crisp gray. Now we got a nice big Autobot logo here on the American version. We got a smaller one in the Japanese version. I kind of like the bigger one. I'm thinking about maybe putting a repro label on there to make them a little bigger, or rather a Toy Hacks label. And then of course you can see on the back here how you had the feet sticking out, and we no longer have that. And then again, looking at the front of the cabs, you know, the one that we got here in the States was a little bit of a stylized thing going on. Really nice look for Prime. Not saying that I hate it, but I just prefer this one. This is a cool look. This was a great figure. I like this one better. That's just me. And of course, the weapons are different. Now, the cannons are the same. But the handguns are different. We got two different handguns here for the LG-35 version, where we got the one of these and then the one of the hammer ones. For both, one of each came with this one, and it also came with magnets. What I've done is just to kind of make everything symmetrical. I've given Prime the two guns, or the two rifle-looking weapons, and then the more hammer-looking weapons, I gave both of those to my Ultra Magnus, just to kind of make them a little more symmetrical. But there you go, so you can see what these two look like together. Now, taking a look at these weapons, I do want to show you these because these are new. These are different. So let's go ahead and pop these off. And we've got these two weapons. They're hollow on one side, and then you got them filled in on the other. And I was hoping that you'd be able to maybe peg in the two hollow ends together like this. Not the case, unfortunately. What you're going to do is you are going to peg them together like this, and this is going to allow you to sit a Titan Master in there, or one of the little Headmaster dudes. They can sit in there, and then you can, of course, you can peg this to, you can peg it to the vehicle if you'd like, or you can peg it up here if you'd like, but this is really more for the base mode, where you can have one of the little Titan Masters sitting right there for, for the little base mode itself. I'll go ahead and see if I can get these popped back in here one more time. I do want to do one more comparison, so we'll bring this guy over here off to this side, and we're going to take a quick look at him with Powermaster Optimus Prime. This is the original G1 Powermaster Optimus Prime, so you can see where all of the inspirations for this vehicle came from. And yes, I'm getting some yellow on mine. I'm going to have to retro-brite them soon. I just retro-brited his guns, and I'm really happy with the way those came out, so I'm maybe going with the rest of the trailer here soon. But there you go. Of course, we didn't get the Power Run. We sort of kind of got it, and then we sort of kind of didn't, right? We did get Ginrai. So we'll go ahead and pop this open, and you can see Ginrai sitting right there in the front. You can go ahead and pop this little dude out. Go ahead and do that, and we'll close this right back up again. And we'll show Ginrai right here real quick, so you can see what this guy looks like. And yeah, I really like this dude a lot. The paint job on this guy is really well done. It's the same one. Again, the little robot part in the front. The back of the head is actually going to be different. Let me do this. Let me get the one that we got here in the States out for you real quick, so you can see them side by side. So again, the little robot body part here is going to be pretty much the same, just the paint job is different. Where on the LG-35 version, we got an actual like Ginrai paint job, the way he looked in the Master Force series. The one we got here in the States is a little lacking in the paint department. Now the heads themselves are going to be different. So here we got a more of a Orion Paxi looking head, where with the LG-35 we get more of a Ginrai looking head from the Master Force series again. So, just a little bit of differences there. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the vehicle mode. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail with this guy on this video. This guy's going to get his own video. But if you have the LG-42 God Bomber, they do plug together. So that you got the little clip on the front of God Bomber. You got a little slot right back here on the back of Prime. And you can go ahead and plug these two together to make yourself a Super Convoy. If they'll stay plugged in together. That usually doesn't come off as easily. Of course, it's doing it now because I'm trying to get it done on camera. But there you go. You can have a Super Convoy. Of course, now that's going to happen. What is going on now? Of course, the minute I get it in front of the camera, that's when it's going to start popping off on me. There we go. So now you can have yourself a Super Convoy if you wanted to have yourself your Powermaster Optimus Prime with God Bomber, or, just a whole Super God Ginrai set right there. Very, very cool. And like I said, I'm not going to get into too much details with the guys. With this guy, I'll show him for comparisons and that kind of stuff. But he is going to get his own video in the Super God Bomber, or the Super God Ginrai mode. We're going to be showing that off in that video. And this guy right here, we're only going to do the Super Ginrai mode right here. Now, Super Ginrai does have his base mode. I'm not going to go through the transformation. Obviously, I already got him in place, but I would be remiss if I didn't show it. It's not great. I don't think that any Powermaster Optimus Prime or Ginrai figure has ever done the base mode as well as the original figure did it. This is it's reminiscent of that original one, but it's lacking. It doesn't really have like a command center. You've got the truck in the back there. The towers are weird. the ramps are non-functional because they're facing back here. So it's, I mean, it's there if you want to use it. You can take Ginrai. He can sit right here. I guess this is his little command spot right there. You can also mount him inside, you know, some of the other gun emplacements, or you can take some of the other Titan Masters and Headmasters and do that kind of thing too. So, I mean, it's there if you want to use it. And it's supposed to be compatible with the God Bombers base mode. So, or little command base or command post or little battle mode or whatever this is. Again, they're just not, they're weird. These are weird, but if you look at the clips for these panels here and here, you would be able to clip them together. However, I mean, that really wouldn't make any sense to clip them that way. I mean, I don't even know where you would be going with that. But yeah, anyway, there they are. They're there if you want to use them. But let's face it, that's not really why we're here now, is it? We're here to see the robot mode and the combination of these guys. So why don't we just go ahead and get straight to that? Transformation for Super Ginrai into robot mode is pretty familiar. We've seen this before. There's only just a few minor changes from the previously released figure. So we're going to go ahead and take all the weapons off and just set these off to the side. And then we're just going to start opening up panels. So let's see, where do we want to start? I'd like to start up here at the top and just kind of pop these panels off. And then these side panels, they're going to be tabbed in right here on the side. Go ahead and pop these off on both sides. And that's going to start freeing up pretty much the whole of the body there. With these tabs undone here, we can go ahead and bring the arms up. And the arms are going to be a little different from what we've seen before. So we're going to separate these. And this panel, this front panel here on the front, the smaller one, is going to flip over. There's a tab and a slot right there, so that's going to tab in. This panel is going to come back, and then you can see that the arm here is extended. We can go ahead and push that back and flip that down the rest of the way, and just kind of move this guy up or out to the side here and out of the way. So same thing on this side. Go ahead and flip this up, tab it in, flip this panel up, and then close that arm up. And that's going to make for a lot cleaner on the arms for this robot as opposed to the version that we got here in the States. We can then move on down here to the legs. If we go into the truck itself here, we can take these red pieces and just kind of flip these up. These are going to be part of the chest later. And then we can go ahead and use this hinge to bring the robot legs all the way down. And at this point, we can go ahead and just finish the upper body. So we can bring this up all the way, bring the arms out the rest of the way, and these are going to tab into place right there and right there. Take the cab, and we're going to go ahead and just, if you look up here and you pull on the cab itself, there's these two tabs that are slotted into the front of the cab right there. That's going to allow you to rotate the cab around, bring it down on this hinge here, bring the whole thing down, clip that into place. We can go ahead and open this up, get little Ginrai out of there, flip this little panel forward, reach in here, this seat, we're going to pull this out, and this is going to be part of the head, well, pretty much the head really, the whole head assembly, kind of like a helmet assembly for the robot, for the super robot. So we just go ahead and flip that back all the way. The panel, the side that has this little panel, we're going to flip this one back in first, and then we're going to close it with this one. And there's going to be some slots here on the sides. We're going to use these tabs here and here to slot in place. There and there. So that's pretty much going to do the upper body. I forgot to take the hands and rotate them, so we can go ahead and do that now. All right, so finishing up with the legs here. The legs are going to be, I wanted to kind of leave this for last because there's going to be some stuff here that we're going to do a little different. So we can go ahead and separate these. And this next part is going to be pretty familiar. We're just going to bring out the part with the wheels here. Just kind of bring it out. It is tabbed in. There's a slot right there. And there's a tab. It's really hard to show, but there's a tab right there on the blue piece that tabs into that slot right there. So just undo that, rotate this guy down. Same thing on this side. So just undo the gray piece from the blue part and bring this up and over. Do I want to? Not yet. Let's do the feet. Now, this is the part that's different. So we're going to take the feet here, and this is going to rotate. I'll see if I remember. I always kind of get this backwards. So let me, yep. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to rotate this out on a double hinge right there, just like that. This blue piece is going to come forward. Then it's going to rotate around to the front. And then it's going to come up again like that to kind of fill in this gap right here. Okay. So we've done that. And then we're going to take this red piece and bring it down. That's going to be our heel support. And then finally, we're going to take the panels here and we're going to close these up exactly like we did with our previous version, using that tab and that slot to secure everything in place. So one more time, we're going to take the foot right here. This is on a double hinge. So just bring it back, out, and down as far forward as it'll go. Grab the blue piece, flip it back, rotate it to the front, and then flip it back up again to cover that gap right there. Around the back, we're going to bring down, make sure that's all lined up. We're going to bring down this red piece for heel support, and finally bring the panels around and clip him into place to complete his legs. And this does this is meant to look more like the feet did on the original G1 Powermaster Prime or God Ginrai, or whichever name you want to call it. We're not going to get into arguments about what we're going to call it, but there you go. That's what these are meant to look like, and you'll see that a little better here in a moment when I do comparisons with the G1 figure. So let me just kind of get them all straightened out here. And I'm not really doing a good job of getting them straightened out for some reason. I don't know what's going on. All right, so finally, let me back up a bit here. And we're going to do the head. So finally, Ginrai, whatever you want to call them, we're going to fold them in half, just like that, to form the head. We're going to plug that right into place. And then finally, we're going to bring this helmet up and over his face. We're going to give him his weapon. So, of course, the shoulder pieces, these are going to, or rather these double cannons, these are going to plug into the shoulder pieces here and here. And I like to take his guns and just kind of give him those. Actually, let's not do the guns yet. Let's set these off to the side for a moment so we can do articulation and that kind of stuff. But there is Super Ginrai in his robot mode. And here in robot mode, Super Ginrai stands approximately 9.5 inches tall at the top of the head, 10 if you want to go to the top of the cannons right here. And he looks amazing. I really do prefer the look of this figure over the American released one. And you'll see them side by side here in a moment. I like the American one. It was a cool figure, but I absolutely love how G1 this one is, the G1 throwback on this one. Absolutely love it. I love the colors of it. He's just got such nice vibrant reds, and the grays don't look like that yellow and gray. And of course the nice metallic blues look really, really awesome. I love the chest, the way that this calls back more to the G1 figure, and they almost kind of made him look like he's got little Ginrai plugged in right there to the front of the chest. Very, very cool. Just going all the way around so you can see him. Again, not a lot of cable. They cleaned the arms up quite a bit. I like that a lot. You don't have that panel right behind his fist anymore. You do have a little bit of a panel hanging off his forearm right there, but it's actually, I think it looks a little cleaner than the version we got here. And again, not a lot of cable, not a lot of hollow spots. We do have a little bit right here behind the ankles. We got these little ankle supports here that are going to help us stand the figure. But that does leave a little bit of a hollow space right there. Of course, that is going to come into play when we do the combination in the God Ginrai. And just kind of going all the way around, looking really, really nice. Taking a closer look at the head so you can see what that looks like. It's a shame that we can't really see the eyes. So he's got the blue eyes right in there, but they don't really come through. Especially here on camera, they're just not coming through. He kind of looks like he's got dead eyes. As I'm looking at him, I can see the blue behind those cavities there, but it's just not showing up on camera. So he does kind of suffer from that almost dead eye look, which is a bit of a shame. Articulation wise, the head can move side to side, a little bit of up and down, not a whole lot, nothing inquisitive there. The shoulders can go forward and backwards all the way around. They can also go in and out. You can move these guns out of the way to get them all the way out like that. You can rotate them at the bicep, you can bend at the elbow, and you can rotate at the wrists. You do not have a waist rotation. Legs can go forward that far, back that far. They can go in and out. Rotation at the thigh. Bend at the knee if you don't unclip half of your toy like I just did. That was weird. The ankles can go forward and backward a little bit. They also got that ankle tilt. So again, he's looking really nice. And I feel like I did something here just now. Something felt like it came untabbed, but I can't figure out what. Let's give him his weapons. We can go ahead and I like to give them both. Again, that's just kind of a Powermaster thing. I do wish that we had somewhere on his back where we could plug the weapons in when we're not using them. That would be nice to have somewhere to plug these in. That would have been nice. But we didn't get that. So we'll give him his weapons. We'll do a couple of comparisons real quick. And get him standing straight. There we go. So he's looking really, really good. Now, again, for comparison, here he is with the American Titan Return. I think he was Titan's Return or Combiner Wars. I'm sure you guys will go down in the comments and correct me. The American release version of Optimus Prime, and you can see the big difference here. He does stand a little taller because of the way the feet are done. But the colors are just so vibrant. I absolutely love the colors here. But big differences on the cab of the truck itself. The chest piece here for the robot. The arms have been cleaned up so we don't have those panels. And of course, the feet right there, completely different feet. So that's him with the American version. Here he is with G1 Powermaster Optimus Prime. So you can see what these guys look like together. And G1 just a smidge taller than this new guy right here. But here's what I was talking about with the feet, how the original figure kind of had these slots here for the shins. That's kind of what they're trying to emulate here for the feet on this new figure. And then one more comparison. We'll move this guy to here, this side of the show, and we'll bring in his partner God Bomber, who he's going to combine with next week to become God Bomber. I'm trying to keep these videos a little short. Well, they're never short, but I'm trying to keep them from being too long. And if I go into the combination for these guys to make God Ginrai, this video is going to be way too long and nobody's going to watch it. So join me next week when we're going to review God Bomber, and then we're going to combine them both into Super God Ginrai. God Ginrai or Super God Ginrai. We're going to do that next week when we review this guy. So be sure to come back for that. Yes, absolutely fantastic figure. I am so happy to finally have found this figure. This is one that I have been wanting for a very, very long time. I've been holding off on it, just looking for that perfect deal, and I finally found it at TFCon 2021 in Baltimore. So happy to pick both of these guys up. I got them both together, and I got a pretty good deal for them. And I think that about does it for the Transformers Legends LG-35 Super Ginrai. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe and hit that bell icon so you're notified when I upload a new video. I've got a donate button up there. If you want to hit on that, I certainly would appreciate it. Join my channel for added perks. Please share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.